by welcoming to the front your Carlingford West Public School, half of your school's maths crew, because this is only K-2. You are a phenomenally sized school and you do a phenomenal things. So could I please invite to the front the 2 maths crew members of every grade. Could I also invite to the front the school maths crew leader, Vanessa. And Vanessa, if you could come down to this side, because you actually lead not just the K-2 crew. You also lead the 3 to 6, which makes this, I think, a phenomenal achievement and the journey that you are on. You are truly doing a whole school approach to mathematics in a school with over 75 staff, and we will get you that consistency, K to 6. The other person to also invite to the front is the leader of all things K to 2, and that's Alexis, your K to 2 deputy. Before we go any further, could we please give this fabulous team a round of applause? I think at this point it'd be really important if we ground our practice into, I guess, common language that we can talk about across the whole school. So I know we looked at this before, but essentially when you look at that, the left side at the top in the orange, I'm wondering what you think about that if that was, I guess, our mindset as teachers. And on the right-hand side is what we want for the students. So what do you think of those mindsets up on the top, the teachers and the students? Are we okay with those? Just give me a quick absolutely yes, maybe, absolutely no. Yeah, what do you think, Alexis? We'll run with them? All right, let's lock them in. We'll lock those in. For a whole school approach, meaning K to 6, so regardless of where you're teaching in subsequent years, to get that, I truly believe we need these amazing people sitting at the heads of your table, that navy strip at the bottom and maths crew. So what you've got in the green around the edge of that pyramid, they're like the fundamentals or the 3 pillars. That is what my role is to help the maths crew do for you. What do we think? Do we want the maths crew to get you the resources you need? Yep? All right, we'll lock it in. Do we want the maths crew to help you with your content knowledge? All right, we'll lock that one in. And my favourite one is the other one. Any yeses for differentiation, maybe? Yes. So are we happy with those? So essentially that's what the maths crew are going to do. All right, so now what have you got to do? Yeah, you got the whole jigsaw on the inside. So there are 10 pieces to that jigsaw puzzle, and that is the art of teaching mathematics. I would like to think the ones down on that bottom layer, they are the things that I've heard you talk about, that you're going, yes, mathematical language. Yes, getting children to not only explain their thinking, but use that correct terminology. Concrete materials, hands-on equipment. All those things on the bottom is what I've heard you talking about. The next layer up is sort of where we're now moving into. Structuring your lessons, the 5-part lesson, and activity design. The 3rd layer up of the pyramid. That's a tough one. That 3rd layer, you can plan all you want, but unless you're in that moment and those twists and turns happen and you don't know where to take it, thinking on your feet, that's a tough thing to do for maths. And then the other one there, we've got constructive feedback. That's hard because we always say to children, no, we don't want you to draw a row, we want you to draw a column. That's not feedback. So I think those two are quite challenging. It means you go, you know what, I'm going to absolutely nail those non-negotiables on that bottom layer. And then what is the Holy Grail? The Holy Grail is that top layer. Observational assessment. What I think would be lovely would be if we had protocols that for every grade meeting, it started with a certain amount of time to engage in conversations around mathematics. Whether it's 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, that's up for you to decide. So when we did this last term with 3 to 6, they came up with 10 minutes. So for 3 to 6, the first 10 minutes of every grade meeting will be talking about mathematics. And if there's nothing to talk about, great, move on. But then it's like, well, what do we talk about? Do we talk about reports? No. Do we actually do the maths? Probably a good idea. So rather than talking about what you're going to do, actually do an activity for maybe 3 minutes and talk about what would that look like in your classroom. What do you need? Oh, that's great, but I can't roll the dice into the bowl because I don't have bowls. Great, we'll get you some. So that's what I want you to keep in the back of your mind. What would be your ideal amount of time that we can give you at the start of every grade meeting to just talk about mathematics? What do you want to ask for? Do you want 10 minutes? Yeah. Because I was hearing 10 everywhere. Yeah. All right, show me how many for your team. Can we have it, sir? There we go, done deal. So you now have, effective immediately, 10 minutes at the start of every grade meeting to chat about maths. I'm going to ask you to reflect on things and what are all the things that you want and you need, and then your crew are going to write it down on this special folder that's behind them. It might be, I don't have 2 colour counters, but they don't know that I need them. Or it might be, I don't know how to store all those worksheets because I don't have one of those little carry case box things. Or it might be, I keep running out of marker pens, or I haven't got enough connecting cubes, I don't have enough of those things in plastic sleeves. If anyone in this room says, oh, I can't do that, Anita, because I can't get the printing done. Not your fault, that's their fault. But then it's not their fault, actually, because you've just got to tell them what you want, and then they tell Vanessa, and then she just magically will make it happen. And then she will get it back to your maths crew leaders, and then they will get it back to you in a grade team meeting. Now that you've got this framework, you've got these discussions, what would you actually like to learn more about? That's it. Because I don't know how many people ask you that. What do you want to learn about? Whether it's arranging furniture, whether it's monitoring the tone of your voice, whether it's content knowledge, whatever it is, what do you want to learn about? And obviously what I would love is if it hangs off those pieces of that jigsaw puzzle on that framework.
That wants to be the one that actually does a DEM lesson.
But not just going in to watch someone else with their kids,
Yep.
but getting them into do it with your kids, I think is more impactful.
So then you can see what your kids are actually doing while they're being taught.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're seeing the lesson, you're
Yep.
seeing the kids being mathematicians. I think it's really impactful.
Yep. Be able to know the content we are teaching.
There are obviously times where sometimes I want to teach a concept that I don't fully know or understand.
How do you realise what we don't have?
Okay, so it's we don't know what we need to know, so if you show us a few things, then we'll be able to articulate and go, yep, we're good with that, we knew about that, or no, we didn't. So in closing, I'm going to do what I do with the children. Please take your right hand, place it on your left shoulder. Is your arm horizontal, vertical, or neither? And it's actually not a diagonal because it's actually not inside a polygon. So the curious mathematician says, well, what is it? And I go, there's a fancy word for that. It's called oblique. And the mathematician just goes, to everyone else, it's like, yeah, whatever. Differentiation, so doable. All right, give yourself a pat on the shoulder. Thank you so much, that was awesome.
What you're going to get tonight is something which Alexis and Di have been very passionate about. You guys are the foundations for the HSC. And I just thank you to Alexis and the maths crew, Vanessa.
I love counters.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm going to hand over to Alexis, but I just want to say thank you, and you're going to make us great. So thank you.